This is Shauna from Heritage Creations Cut Flowers. This is our third year as a flower farm, and we're in Zone 8A. Typically on Sunday or Monday is a harvest day, and Wednesday is harvest day. It's Wednesday, which means it's harvest day. Today we're cutting to make bouquets for the market and for the stand. Presently I'm in the upper garden cutting zinnias, and then while Bob's in the lower garden cutting the marigolds. But after that, basically he'll do most of the cutting and I will just stay up at the stand, and he'll bring the flowers to me and I'll do most of the stripping and the bunching and putting them in the buckets, and he'll do most of the cutting. It just goes a lot quicker that way if one person does one thing and the other person does the other thing. So that's typically how we do it if it's the two of us getting all the flowers cut, which is super helpful if Bob can be around to help cut the flowers. Here we're discussing which flowers need to be cut next, and Bob is off to cut those flowers while I'm still stripping the pink Oklahoma zinnias. These zinnias have been hit pretty hard by the Japanese beetles, and this is probably the last succession we'll get out of these. The stems are getting pretty spindly, so I think we're going to cut these down after this succession right here. Got a few marigolds, and then here we go with the sunflowers. Up next, Limelight Zinnias. These Limelight Zinnias I direct seeded back in April, and these are the best Limelight Zinnias I have ever had. I really like them. And then the next group that you'll see here, I also direct seeded these Benares Giants, the hot pink ones, and they've done really, really well. And then you'll see that I'm getting ready to do the Ballerina. Ballerina is a new zinnia seed from Johnny's, and I really, really like it. That I started in soil blocks, so I did not direct seed that, but those have been doing really well also. Luckily, not too much damage from the Japanese beetles with all of these zinnias, so hopefully we can continue to keep the Japanese beetles off of these. Here's our morning harvest. Looks pretty good. So let's get them in the workshop so that we can cool these flowers off and let them hydrate. until we can make bouquets later today. Nine o'clock breakfast break. So you'll probably hear me do a voiceover on a lot of the harvesting video part because I was in a hurry. I was trying to video. I've been wanting to video a harvest, kind of a harvest day, but usually I'm in a hurry, and so it takes a while. Typically on Sunday or Monday is a harvest day, and Wednesday is harvest day because I put together bouquets for a market and I take them on Thursday morning, so I harvest on Wednesday, so I can let the flowers hydrate for several hours before I make bouquets, and then those bouquets can sit and hydrate, and I take them Thursday morning. And then I have been super excited about the fact that I have found a florist. I have looked through, what I did was I kept trying to I kept following and looking at florists in our area, which we are very close to Charlotte, so we have a big area. But also, I don't want to go too far because I really didn't want to, be driving 30 or 45 minutes to deliver. Like if you're going through Charlotte, you're going to hit a lot of traffic and that kind of thing. So I wanted to stay a little bit closer to where I am. And I'm on the southeast side of Charlotte. I want to stay kind of close to my area, but I also wanted to find a florist that obviously would buy flowers for me. So when I was looking at several different florists, I could tell that they really aren't using the type of flowers that I grow. So I'm like, well, it's probably not a good one to approach. And I have had one florist who has been super great and I love her. She would just say, I want a bucket of what's growing in the field, or let me just stop by, or do you have this? Anyway, she's been super great. So, but she's just small and she works out of her home, which has been great because she is very close to me. And so I just thought, could I find another one just like Colleen? I need another Colleen. She has been super great. And as I'm scrolling through Instagram, I look at their pictures and kind of see, what kind of work they do. And then I found another one that was fairly close to me. And 3 weeks ago, I just reached out to her. Could I stop by for 5-10 minutes, bring you some of my product, and just, see what you think about it? And sure enough, stopped by. I brought her about 6-7 bunches of things that I had growing in the field, and sure enough, she liked it. So I was super happy about that. And then I do have my website set up for a wholesale section on my website where you can just put in a password, the florist can get in, and then I can update it weekly. So been doing that. And for the past 2 weeks, she's been ordering from me. So, and then I've been delivering to her. So therefore, on Sunday, I update it by 4 o'clock on Sunday. And then if I have some orders, I'll harvest on Sunday or Monday and then deliver either Tuesday or Wednesday, depending on my schedule and their schedule. And then obviously I harvest again on Wednesday for my market delivery on Thursday. And then also, obviously on this Wednesday, I'm harvesting for the bouquets that I make for the stand on Friday and Saturday. And then if I need any more, I can obviously do that on Thursday if needed. So I can always run out and get more in the field if I need for Thursday. So that's kind of the schedule for the week. And that's how I've been doing it. Got lots of zinnias growing right now. Marigolds, celosia. I think I planted too much celosia. This is the last week for my lisianthus. I've had lisianthus for several weeks in bouquets, and of course that makes beautiful bouquets. I'm sitting here looking out on the field. So this week I'll still have lisianthus. Oh, sunflowers, of course. Sunflowers, lisianthus, zinnias, marigolds, basil as filler. I am just getting to the point where I can cut some shisu, I don't know how to pronounce it. I'll put the name up. And what I did too is I took some of that to the florist this week that has been buying from me that I was talking about. And I asked her to try it because I've never put it in bouquets. I've never worked with it. I've never tried it out. I don't want to sell it yet until I kind of understand how it works. And I don't even know, and if anyone knows, please drop it in the comments. I don't even know if you store it in the cooler or not in the cooler. Like basil can't go in the cooler. So she said she was going to treat it like basil and not put it in the cooler. So there's that. I really like the kind that I have. It's got a purple on the back of the leaf and green on top. I'm looking at it right now. And when I cut it, it didn't wilt as much as basil, so it didn't seem as wilty. So we'll see about that. But the leaf is really big. So we'll see. I was really worried this week that as it's July, everybody is slow. Like, it's slower at the stand. Haven't been selling out at the stand, and I have been, oh my gosh, I have these two hummingbirds and they're like going at it. Okay, sorry. Haven't been selling out at the stand. This past week I sold 11 bouquets. I made 18. I knew I shouldn't have made that many. That was just dumb. But anyway, I sold 11. The week before, which was the week of July 4th, I forgot how many I sold. I think it was probably about 11. Anyway, and so Stegall Market, she just straight out buys the bouquets from me. So she typically buys 12 from me, and that's how many fit in her little stand thing at her stand. And then I try to put out some marketing for her, and she puts it all out that the flowers are coming and all the things. And before July, she'd always sell out. And then it started that she was having several left, and then she didn't purchase the week of July 4th, I think it was, because she thought it would be slow, which it was slow at my stand. I totally get it. And then she purchased last week 12. And I kept watching. I was really hoping she'd sell those, because obviously I want her to sell out. I mean, I want her to do well. I don't want her to lose money. So anyway, I could tell that she had a few left over in that stand. So then I didn't hear from her. Typically I hear from her on Tuesdays. Didn't hear from her Tuesday. Heard from her this morning, and she asked for 10, which I was super excited about, because I don't mind. I mean, she's super close. She's just like right around the corner. So I don't mind giving her less, because I mean, I want her to sell everything that I give her. So I was like, absolutely, I'll bring you 10. We don't have to do 12 and she said that she had 3 that she didn't sell. So she just wants 10. Perfect. Bring her 10. And, and I said back to her that my stand has been slower. I'm going to make less this week. I'll probably only make 12 this week. So I'm going to make 12 for my stand, and then I'll make 10 for her. And thank goodness I have gotten this other florist on board, and that she likes my flowers. And that has been super helpful. Super transparent. I was a nervous wreck. The first week I dropped off that she paid for it, because I just wanted the flowers to be perfect. And I saw that one of my marigolds was bent over. But I always give more flowers, meaning if it's a bunch of if it's a bunch of 10, I at least try to give 11 or 12 for that very reason, that in case something bends in transit. So, and then again this week, one of the sunflowers broke off, but I told her again, I'm like, and I counted, and in that bunch there were 11, and I told her, I said, I try to give, like, put more in a bunch, like 11 or 12, just for the very fact that if something breaks in transit, you still have your 10. So, if it doesn't break, then it's kind of like that baker's dozen. You get more. So, anyway, hopefully that's been helpful for her, and she still likes it, and she'll still keep ordering and all the things. So I just want my flowers to really stand out for her and do well, and I want her to keep ordering, and it's just nerve-wracking. It's the first time, like Colleen, I know she's super chill, and she's always giving me great review. Like, when she's come back, she's always, giving me great reviews on anything that she's bought from me. But this person's new. So, anytime we're dealing with somebody new, you have to learn exactly how they are and what they're wanting and what their quirks and all the things are. So, anyway, nerve-wracking. So, still learning that. Like, maybe I'm going to start putting paper around some of my bunches just so I won't have that breakage. We'll see. But July's hard. I mean, we tend to have a lot of flowers in the field, and sales tend to go down. Just the way it is. That's why I was really trying to find another florist to purchase from me, hoping that I could again inch my sales up in July from last July and really kind of start working the profits up in July as best I can. I mean, there's only so much you can do, because I do, definitely have been relying on the farm stand. So I'm super happy to get a market that was buying from me, but I know that she's going to be slower as well. And so, and I know Colleen, my one florist, she's slower. We've talked about that. She's slower in July as well. So I thought if I got another florist, that would be helpful, even though I know she's probably slower in July as well. But at least, she would buy a little bit. So every little bit helps in July, as everybody knows. You have spittlebugs on your sunflowers, especially, which I do these days. This is what I do. I dump the heads in a bucket of water, just leave them sit while I'm processing the rest of the sunflowers. Then I just pull them out and bunch them, and usually the spittlebugs are all gone. I kind of do this, and then when I pull them all out, I can usually see all the spittlebugs on the bottom of the bucket, and the blooms are fine. And here is the flower harvest from earlier this morning, and I'm getting ready to make bouquets for Stiegel Market. I am going to obviously make 10 because that's what she ordered, but these are all of the flowers that I have, and obviously I won't use them all because the rest of them are going to be used for making bouquets for my stand. These are the bouquets that I made for Stiegel Market. There are 10 of them because obviously she wanted 10. So I'll take those up on Thursday. These are the bouquets that I've made for the stand. These are out in the stand. It's Friday morning. And thank you guys for watching and following along. Hopefully the stand and the market goes well this weekend. We'll see. And please like and subscribe the channel.